Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Kanker the Great, coming at you with another YouTube worthy video. Today we're doing a video on my red deck. It's currently Ramunap Wins. Basically, the deck build is very few instants and sorceries, and we maximize on the creatures to deal early damage. So for the early game low end removal / burn, I use 4 shocks. For the removal for artifacts or other smaller creatures, I use 4 braids. And that's it for the spells. I only use those 2 cards. For the creatures, for the 1-drops, I used Falcon Wrath Gorger, probably the worst 1-drop in the whole deck, but he's got the best stat line. He's a 2/1. And then we have probably one of the better 1-drops is Village Messenger. He has haste, and if your opponent doesn't cast anything on their turn, on your upkeep, he transforms. And if you don't cast anything during your upkeep, during their upkeep, he transforms. So he transforms during either player's upkeep, so that's really good. And then the best 1-drop in the whole deck is Bomat Courier. Basically, he has haste, and his effect is whenever Bomat Courier attacks, you can exile the top card of your library under him, face down, and you can't look at it. And then you can pay 1 red, sack him, and then get a new hand. So whatever he exiled, you get to your hand. You gotta discard your hand though. And then I play 4 Earth Shaker Kinra. Basically what she does is when she comes into play, you can make 1 target creature with power equal to or less than hers not be able to block, and that lets you get in some early game damage if they have a creature up. And then late game she eternalizes for 6, and she makes a 4/4 zombie creature token in addition to all its other types, and it when it comes into the battlefield, it gets the same effect. So it would be equal to her toughness, which is 4 or less. And then for the legendary in the deck, 2 Karizev Skyship Raider. Basically what she does is she has First Strike and Menace, which is really good, so no one really ever blocks her. And whenever she attacks, she makes a 2/1 monkey named Ragnavan, who's also tapped and attacking. So that's actually really good. So she swings for 3 points of damage total. 3 Iron Crop Smasher. He's got haste, and he can make it to where if you exert him, you make it to where your target creature can't block this turn. So that's really good for getting in for some later mid-game damage. And then for the other legendary, I run 3 Hazaret. This card is really self-explanatory, but during the later games, towards the end, you can bring her online by activating her ability. And if you activate her ability, you pay 1 red and 2 colorless. And basically what she does is you can discard 1 card and burn your opponent for 2 for paying 3 mana. And her ability is she can't attack unless unless you have 1 or less cards in hand. So that's kind of why she has that discard ability. So you can burn for 2 and then swing for 5, which is really good. And then for my highest curve, I main deck Glorybringer only because everyone at my locals is running really high drop stuff, and originally I wanted to get under everything and kind of keep Hazaret as my finisher, but Hazaret doesn't really get the job done, and they kind of just chum block Hazaret, so I really needed some way to get in more damage, and most of the time they don't have a flyer, and you can exert to kill a creature, so even if it has flying, you'll most likely kill it. And then for the lands, I run 14 basic mountains and 4 Ramunap Ruins, the namesake of the deck. Basically what this does is you can pay 2 red and 2 colorless, and you can sacrifice a desert, and you'll see in just a minute why that's good. But you can do that and sacrifice the desert and do 2 damage to your opponent, which is really good. And you can tap it and burn yourself for 1 to produce 1 red mana, so that's really good. And then this is Sunscorched Desert. Basically, when it comes into the battlefield, you burn your opponent for 1, and then you can tap it for 1 and then summon Bomat Courier, and you can attack for another 1. So you did 2 points of damage in your first turn, and you exile the top card of your library to thin your deck as well. And then 2 Scavenger Grounds, just because it basically what it does is you can pay 2 and sacrifice a desert, and you can exile all cards from all graveyards. So it's really good for all the Eternalize, Embalm type stuff. And then I also run, that's the token I have for it's a 1/1 servo token from I think it was Kaladesh. So that's the one I use for Ragnarok because I don't have them right now. And then I run the 4 Earthquakers Kendrick tokens, and for the sideboard I run 2 Chandra's Defeat for the red mirror, 2 Soulscar Mage for the red mirror, or for really big stuff I want to shrink down, 2 Built to Smash just for the red mirror, and getting in for early game of damage if they're like a really faster, if they're a faster deck, you just want to swing for 1 turn 1 and then swing for 4 or 5 turn 2. And then Lightning Axe just for big creatures, 4 Magma Spray for little creatures and stuff that has Eternalize or Embalm or anything like that. You can just kind of Magma Spray it. And this is also for the red mirror. So I really sided up for the red mirror match. Destructive Tampering makes so that all creatures without flying can't block, and it will destroy target artifacts, so that's really good. So like Gearhulks and stuff. And then for a spicy tech, I run 1 Eldrazi Obliterator. What it does is it's the void, and you can pay 1 and a colorless. 1 and a colorless, and you can target creature until end of turn, and you can untap it, and it gains haste, and you can attack with it, and so you gain control of it. So that's really good for stealing their big stuff and then swinging for a lot. So I hope you enjoyed my Random Up Red deck tech. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, rating, a subscribe if you really enjoyed my content, and please check out my other videos. I'm going to upload a test of this deck tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much and have a nice day.